In math, there are things called rational exponents, and you can rewrite a square root or any type of root with a rational exponent, which is an exponent that is a fraction. So let's look at this first one. You have the fourth root of a. Well, you're going to rewrite it, and you're going to do power over root. Power over root. So you have a, and it's to the first power, and then the root is 4. So another way to write the fourth root of a is a to the 1/4. All right, let's do another one. Here we're going to do the x and y separately. So this would be x, and you're going to do power over root. So 3 over 5. And then y to the 2 over 5, to this. Okay, down here, we're going to do 16. And remember, the square only goes with the z. 16 has an exponent of 1. So that's 1 over 4. And then z to the 2 over 4. If you can simplify that, you should. So if you type it in your calculator, 16 to the, remember you gotta use parentheses around fractions, to the 1/4, you get 2. And then 2 over 4 reduces to, you go math, enter, reduces to 1/2. So that is your answer for that one. All right, now let's go the opposite way. All right, this time I have y to the 1/3, so I'm going to change that into a root. So 1 is your power, so it's going to be y to the first. Remember, you don't have to write that 1. And 3 is your root, so the 3 goes on the outside. Okay, so here, 3 is my power, so it's c to the 3rd, and it's the 8th root. And then here, this is 25 to the 1st and the square root. So really, I could just write that the 1 and the 2, if they weren't there, I would still know it's the square root. Remember, 25 breaks down to 5 and 5, so this equals 5. All right, take a moment and try these two on your own. Try these two, rewrite them. Alright, this should be x to the 3rd and the 5th root, and this one should be 10 to the 1/9, x to the 3 over 9, y to the 5 over 9, and this one reduces, so it'd be 10 to the 1/9, x to the 1/3, and y to the 5/9. That would be your final answer on that one. Alright, let's do some problems down here. Alright, number 1, you have y to the 5 over 3rd and y to the 7/3. You're multiplying these, so this is the mama rule. So when you're multiplying, you add your exponents. So 5/3 plus 7/3, you get 4. So this is y to the 4th. Remember, you can pause this at any time if you need to. So once again, I'm multiplying, so I'm going to add my exponents. 3 over 2 plus 5 over 2, and you get 4. And then you can do 8 to the 4th, which is 4,000 and 96. All right, number 3, the best way to do this one is to rewrite it as with an exponent. So this is 1 over 2, 17 to the 1/2, times 17 to the 2 over 3. And so I'm going to add my exponents, 1/2 plus 2 over 3. Math, enter, enter, and you get 7 over 6. And now let me type that in, 17 to the 7 over 6. And I get an irrational number, so I'm going to leave my answer like that. All right, number 4, this is the DS rule. When you're dividing, you subtract your exponents. So I'm going to subtract 2/3 minus 1/6, which gives me 0.5, which is 1/2. You can do math, enter, enter. So this is r to the 1/2. Remember, another way that you might see this answer is r to the first power and the square root. So the square root of r. All right, number 5, 4 to the 3 over 2. The only thing to do with that is type it in your calculator. There's no variables, so you can type that straight in. 4 to the 3 over 2, and it gives you 8. All right, same thing on the next one. There's no variables, so I can type it straight in. Negative 16 in parentheses to the 3/4. All right, it says non-real answer. So that means this one's going to be imaginary or complex. All right, number 7, no variables, so I can type it straight in the calculator. 81 divided by 25 to the 3 over 2. I'm going to do math, enter, enter. And it says 729 over 125. You could also do the decimal, 5.832. Either one's fine. All right, and number 8, no variables, so type it straight in the calculator. 49 to the negative 3 over 2. Math, enter, enter. And I get 1 over 343. All right, number 9 has variables in it, so you can't type that whole thing in your calculator. You're going to have to decide what to do. I'm dividing, so that's the DS rule, so you subtract your exponents. 4/5 minus 2/5 is 2/5, so it's x to the 2/5, or you could write it the 5th root of x squared, power over root. All right, for this one, you only have a parentheses, so you're multiplying these two. You're doing 5/3 times 3, which equals 5, so it's y to the 5th. All right, number 11, this is the mama rule. You have 2 sets of parentheses, the mama rule, so you're multiplying your coefficients. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10, and you're adding your exponents. So you add those, you may use your calculator, which gives you 1. All right, number 12, the 1/2 goes to all of these. It's 16, and you can put a 1 right here, and you multiply 1 and 1/2, which is 1/2. So you multiply the 1 and the 1/2, gives you 1/2. Then you multiply the 42 and the 1/2, which gives you 21. And you multiply the 106 and 1/2, which gives you 53. All right, you need to see if this will simplify. Remember, 16 to the 1/2 is the square root of 16. So I know that is 4, but let me just show you in the calculator. So I get 4x to the 21st, y to the 53. All right, number 13, explain how the power rule of exponents b in parentheses to the m power equals bmn. So basically what it's saying, when you have something like this, then you are multiplying. How can that be used to justify why the 3rd root of b to the 3rd power equals b? Pause the video and take a minute and think about it. All right, if you rewrite this, b to the 1/3 power over root, And then if I put the 3 out here, what am I going to do with the 1/3 and the 3? I'm going to multiply them. Well, 1/3 times 3 is 1. All right, 14, the interest rate required to increase your investment P to the amount A in T years is found by R equals A over P to the 1 over T minus 1. What interest rate would be required to increase your investment of $2,700 to $3,600 over 3 years? Round your answer to the nearest tenth of the percent. Okay, so it says R is the interest rate. It says your investment is P. Then you're going to have an amount A in T years. So this is the original, and then this is after T years. Okay, so it's saying what interest rate would be required. So I don't know what R is. I do know what A is. I do know what amount I want to have afterwards. I want to have $3,600. P was your original amount, which is $2,700. To the 1 over T is years, so it's 3 years minus 1. All right, let me type that in my calculator. 3,600 divided by 2,700 to the 1/3. I'm going to press enter, and then I'm going to do minus 1. So I get R equals 0.1006. And remember, that's an interest rate, which is a percentage. So I'll move it 2 places, so it's 10 point, well, it says to the nearest tenth, so that'd be 10.1